Good evening, everyone. Thank you to those that are tuning in right now and to those that will eventually watch this live with Larry once it is uploaded to the website. Unfortunately, tonight there won't be much jocularity. There won't be any real joking around. This is going to be a serious update and something that I didn't think we would ever have to get to, but it's about time that we call people out and we call people to task. Since December, I have made my intention to run this campaign clean on the issues, abundantly clear to you, all of my followers, to anyone I've spoken to the voters, to the people in the party, to my opponent, directly to my opponent. Senator Boyle, I'm speaking to you. I sat across from you, and I made it absolutely clear to you that I was not backing out of this race, despite the efforts of many to make me do so, and that I would give people a choice, and that the Republican voters would have a choice in the Republican primary on September 12th to choose whichever candidate they wanted to. But I was absolutely clear, and I want to reiterate what I said. Make this about the issues. Do not make the mistake of making this personal. If you cross a line and make this personal, that's a foolhardy move. Unfortunately, people who speak on your behalf and people who are working for you have chosen not to do that. So now it's time to tell all the facts. Fact. You paid $5,000 to a consultant in the Conservative Party and subsequently received the Conservative Party nomination. Fact. That person is a convicted criminal under felony indictment. Fact. That individual and other individuals have made concerted efforts to threaten me, my family, my friends, my colleagues, and my associates, elected officials, and even those currently running for office. Fact. I made it totally clear to you and everybody else. I only wanted to run on the issues. And I cautioned you not to involve my family and my friends. You did not heed those warnings. So now, unfortunately, you've brought me down to the place that you've decided to take this campaign. I have been a gentleman for the entire time. I will remain a gentleman, and I will continue to run on the issues. But it's time the voting people realize, particularly those Republicans who are going to vote in the September 12th primary, the kind of people that you associate yourself with. You chose the endorsement of the Conservative Party before your own party, and then subsequently received the Independence Party endorsement as well. Just tonight, there's an article from Rick Brand talking about campaign finance and talking about the amount of money you have on hand and the amount of money that I have on hand. Well, the reality is we're running a campaign, and we've outspent you 4-1. 50% of your campaign finance was transferred from your Senate account, money that you took from your constituents under the guise of running for Senate. 50%. Further, as we discussed last time, many of the unions involved in the sheriff's office have endorsed you and given you money. Those members have spoken out and continue to speak out as to why that money happened in a primary when it's never happened before. Today I received a few phone calls from some colleagues, friends that own businesses, and other associates who have been threatened to publicly come out and support me and have been threatened for the support that they've given me, whether it's a sign in front of their business, whether it's potential donations, or whether it's just the fact that we've been colleagues and associates and actually childhood friends for the better part of 20 and 30 years. My friends and I will not take those threats lightly, and we will use the full breadth and authority of local, state, and federal law to identify, investigate, and prosecute, if necessary, anybody who's involved in what I can only describe as absolute thuggery. I sat across from you and told you I wanted to run on the issues. You've chosen to take a different path. Second, I continue to call for a debate, and I continue to call on you now to publicly debate me at any time, any place, anywhere, on any issue. We've accepted News 12's invitation to publicly debate. I don't know the status of your invitation and whether or not you've accepted it. But I absolutely, positively will debate you anytime, anywhere, on any issue. Further, I call on you to publicly denounce the thug tactics that are taking place. And I know right now there may even be people who support you that are watching, and that's fine, because anything I've said, I've made absolutely clear. Third, I call on you to publicly come out and denounce the rumor that if you lose the Republican primary, when you lose the Republican primary, that you will not take a Democratic endorsement, as you indicated in your screening with the GOP full county committee and at the GOP convention when you signed an affirmation that you would not do so. Come out and tell the voting Republicans who will be coming out on September 12th that you will not do so. Do all three of those things, but understand one thing. The threats and the intimidation to family and friends and colleagues, those that stand by me, is not going to make them go away. It's only going to further embolden them. Far too long, people inside and outside that department are tired of the tactics, the pay to play, and all the other nonsense that goes on, where people live in fear for their jobs, where people live in fear to come out and come to a fundraiser, where people live in fear to stay at a press conference, where people live in fear to simply come to a diner or to another open forum that I hold, where we're happy to answer questions that they have about their potential future boss. Nobody should have to live under those conditions, and no one should have to work in that environment. So come out publicly and denounce everyone that's behind the scenes doing that. The choice is yours. There's 21 days until the primary. We will be out every single day with our volunteers everywhere that we need to be. It's a big county, and we'll be there. Answer the call for a News 12 debate. Answer the call from the Jay Oliver Show on 103.9. He's most graciously offered an opportunity to have an on-air debate. In person, on air, on TV, on the street corner. Anytime, any place, anywhere. Let the public know where you stand. Let the public know why you think you're qualified to be the sheriff. And don't tell me it's because of the heroin task force. And there's nothing else really to say. Because quite honestly, I haven't heard any other issue. I haven't heard anything else. It's a backdoor deal, plain and simple. It's a way to increase your salary for your last 3 years before you retire. Period, the end. This is not a raise for me. I've said it publicly, and I'll say it publicly again. My salary is public record. Between what I make at my primary job and what I make at my part-time job to support my family, it is a lateral, and in many instances, it will be a pay cut. So it's not about money for me. It's about the people. What's it about for you? Come out and tell them. Come out and publicly debate, and let's talk about the issues. But let's make one thing absolutely clear. The threats to my friends and family and their businesses and their livelihood will not be tolerated.